The earliest memory that I have that I can focus on in life was sitting on my father's knee moments before dawn and watching an A-bomb go off. I was about 3 years old. And then a few minutes later, hearing the bang come over, and it scared me very much. And that's a fear, I guess, that never left. There's a stamp. I always called from childhood on the bomb, the testing, the demon. We watched the bombs go off all the time. We were encouraged to watch history being made. The radio stations would sometimes tell us when they were going to test. They had bomb cocktail parties in Las Vegas. A few hours later, we could see the clouds drift over, pinkish gray. There was a metallic taste in your mouth that came with it. If you were close enough, you could even pick up the smell of the burning yuccas and joshuas. Always with, the promises of there is no danger. We repeat, there is no danger.
I go from here to my ears on both sides, and they had two lines down here. The little tumor here and the one here, and the lymph nodes from here and the ones from here, and you selectively forget how many surgeries you've had because it's just all bad nightmares. You don't want to remember.
Enterprise is a very small town. There's no fast food restaurants, so most of the people eat well. They don't smoke, they don't drink. My first experience living here was when I was 18, and I saw a lot of the older people walking around town with their bald heads. And I didn't really know what was going on, but found out that they were all doing chemotherapy, and it seems like most of the town is dying from cancer. I mean, obviously it's amazing. It looks like, craters of the moon. And so it's clearly there was a lot of activity going on.
John Wayne as Genghis Khan. In fact, someone asked Dick Powell, who was assigned to direct the film, "What are you doing directing a film with John Wayne as Genghis Khan?" And his reply was, "When John Wayne asks you to direct a film, you direct the film." Filmed in Snow Canyon, Utah. The Conqueror became rather notorious because of the effect that above-ground nuclear testing was having on citizens of southwestern Utah. And as a result of exposure and what became later known as the downwind syndrome, over 90 people came down with cancer out of a crew of something like 220, and then 46 ended up dying of cancer, some of them pretty grisly deaths, which included John Wayne, Agnes Moorehead, the director Dick Powell, Pedro Armendariz, Susan Hayward. I mean, the principal cast of this film, which gave this story quite a bit of impact.
The last time I saw Michelle, she came and had to drag the wheelchair out of the car, a little tiny one, because she can't handle a full-size one. She got in it. When I seen little Michelle, broke my heart. Just all I could do was cry to see my little friend, all shriveled up, eaten up with cancer, that's gonna die very soon. This is the hardest part of the fallout, is watching your close friends die one by one.
We were looked at as sub-citizens. We were looked at as those people. We were a bunch of cowboys, Indians, and Mormons. And the Indians, who cares about? The cowboys, they made fun of us. Where did the Russians test most of theirs? Kazakhstan, a bunch of Muslims. Where did the French test? First in the Sahara, a bunch of Africans. Where did the United States test if they weren't testing in Nevada? The Marshall Islands with a bunch of primitives. The British, Montebello Island off the Australian coast, where the fallout would only hit a bunch of Aborigines. It's always those people. That's been the legacy. It's always somebody that you don't really care about.
Well, it was just like somebody hits you in the belly with a iron pipe. You don't believe it at first. It's kind of a shock. And then you settle down to find out what your chances are.